As you can see here, we have a lot of aspects that will need the learners to be able to do. And you need to familiarize yourself with all these aspects in the syllabus. All right, these are the things that you're going to teach your learners, and you need to know them. And so that means you will need to instruct your learners on this, and they should be able to perform these competencies, and they need to achieve these objectives. When you're talking about competencies here, now according to definition from Merriam-Webster Dictionary, competencies is the ability to do something successfully and efficiently. So the learners need to know how to do these aspects. For example, use graphic organizers, write and present information ideas in various forms. All these things they need to learn how to do, because these aspects are necessary in real life writing. And when we talk about objectives and competencies, I've already mentioned to you that in this specific syllabus, the objectives are quite vague, which means that they are hard to really say that you can measure to see that if the learners have achieved them or not. They are very, very, very vague. But then competencies are more specific, because let's say here we have develop, organize, and produce ideas into coherent sentences, paragraphs, and whole text. Like, it's super vague, and we have so many action verbs that the learners need to do there. It's very, very vague. But then when you look at the competency, it's more specific. Use graphic organizer. For you to measure that, you have graphic organizers, and then these are now the tools that you can use to help learners brainstorm ideas and organize their information. Write and present information and ideas in various forms, and then these forms are complete sentences, simple, complex, compound sentences. Like, you can focus on these things. Paragraphs, introductory, developmental, and concluding paragraphs. Or for various audience and purpose. And we have spoken about this when we are talking about the different principles that you need to consider when you are creating or teaching writing. And then write and organize ideas, sentences, and paragraphs in logical sequences. That's more measurable. Do you understand? And then here, write. So write in style appropriate for audience and register, like informal letter, formal letter. All these things you need to know before you go to the classroom. And we have many more, like punctuation, we have it there. Okay, if we go back, we have got diaries and journals. This is more on expressive writing, and many of these are more transactional writing. You need to know these things. That's why we are covering them anyways. Punctuation, these are the things that you need to know. For you to think about some of those objectives that we have stipulated there, you will do an activity for this unit. And this unit's activity is more simple. All you need to do is research and then write the references. Okay, well, let's look at the task. If I jump there. Alright, for the task of this unit, what you're expected to do is work with a partner, only 2 people maximum. And then you search for these topics. These topics are from the syllabus. You need to know how to teach this, because you are going to be expected to teach this in your own classroom. That's why I want you to find resources that will help you to work on these topics. That's why we are doing this activity. This information is not just for this specific unit, but it's the information that you can use when you go and teach. For example, you go on the internet and then you look for educational website, not just any kind of website, but educational one. I will give you more information about educational websites. Or you can use textbooks to provide you information on how to teach these aspects or what these aspects are. For example, information should be on how to use graphic organizer. More information about graphic organizers, how to write sentences, simple, compound, complex sentences, how to write paragraphs, how to organize ideas. All these things you need to search for, all right? And then find those website or resources that you can use to teach this aspect. And when we are talking about educational websites, these are now websites that ends with edu. But I'll say that if a website also ends in gov, it's acceptable, because I've seen that some governments do provide information on language teaching, and those are the prominent websites that you have to use. That ends with edu, which means educational institution, and then gov, which is government, but avoid these other ones. When you find that the website ends with org, it means that it's traditionally a non-government, non-profit organization. If it ends with .com, it's a commercial site, and mil is military, net is network. So avoid these ones, just use these ones. And especially the .com, anybody can write information there. It's not based on research. That's why I want you to focus more on .edu website, because if it's an educational institute, many times that the information that you find there is based on research, and we want our teaching to be based on research. Next, for each topic, reference the website or the textbook or text or article, whatever, that explain how to teach or carry out each of those topics. Before you copy and paste, read the website. You need to read and ensure that whatever that is written there makes sense and you can follow it, and it can help you when you go into the classroom. In other words, make sure that the information is usable when you go and teach. I want you to already start preparing for that. You have information how to write different kind of genres or different types of texts. As all the other activities, change the document into PDF and then submit it under the link that you find in Unit 7. I'll have to create those soon. So that's the task. And then how does that structure looks like? The due date is going to be the 21st of September. You still have enough time. And then the names of the students, next the topics, and then you reference APA. All right, you have to go back to the website, to the link on how to reference APA, and then you reference where you got that information from using APA. And then we've got the different